May I have your attention, please? Southwest Airlines announces the arrival of Flight 673 from Salt Lake City, arriving at Gate F10.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard Southwest Airlines flight number 18. We have flight 10 for me today. Our station in the back. My name is Maya. Currently at the takeoff, we will serve complimentary buses and beer, wine, and liquor are also available for purchase or the valid drinking upon. Last time around one. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, you forgot your laptop and security. I just sent my supervisor to go get it for you.
Ladies and gentlemen aboard Anchorbaby Airlines flight to Seattle, thank you for your orderly entrance into the plane. Appreciate that. Thank you for the patience. We got our pushback clearance. We should be pushing out onto the runway very shortly here. Make sure you put away your overhead compartment. Okay, put away your luggage. Make sure you push it back, way back, and leave space for those coming in behind you. Okay, have some decency, have some common decency for once in this country. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant. Passengers, yes, carry on. We will be taking off shortly. Flight attendants, if you could please prepare the cabin for takeoff.
Alright, my friends, the port entry door has been closed. Please ensure your small portable electronic devices are in airplane mode. Flight attendants, I'm South Central. Welcome back.
Low retreats to stop these devils from oppressing my mental. Ugly mind stay gathered up onto the depths of gently falling from the clouds and the rain is torrential. Get the block fresh cut with the lines in the temple. All black leather in the whip is essential. Told you bitch, fucking with you is a waste of potential. Like she jumped in the shit like he ain't even exist. Now it's swerving down the boulevard, flashing my wrist. Still
Please don't get answers from my eyes. You know that mine can lie quite as well as yours. Just let the spare moment flow, rounding steps as I go through the open doors.
What's up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, we're flying out of LAX. That's Los Angeles International Airport on our way to Seattle International. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Should have a nice flight ahead of us. It's a little cloudy, but we'll make it all the way. Currently on our DOTS 5 exit out of LAX, our favorite one over the water. Got plenty of in-flight entertainment, drinkies and snackies. We'll be getting into all that and your calls today. Kick back and relax. You're flying Anchorbaby Airlines. Beautiful stuff here. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. Thank you. It's Friday. Hope you're enjoying your Friday so far. What are you guys up to? How's your Friday? Immigration is kind of the topic of it. So much crazy stuff with that. Some random things I want to get into. We'll see what we can get up to tonight. We'll be also taking calls once we get up to our cruising altitude of 45,000 feet. That's flight level 450 on Trump Force One. We'll be opening up the airphone and taking calls. 760-515-3855. You'll see the number on the screen. Welcome, everybody. Got some weather ahead. Nothing we can't handle, though. Beautiful. What's up, Ivana, Lord Bibby? We got Air Marshal Lord Bibby on board. Be on your best behavior. Becca, Rome 13, Raymond, Kevin Howe, taking care of business. Lord Spike Protein. What's up, Golden Earrings? I've never seen that name before. Alias name, Renee. What's up, everybody? Justin, TDS, Steve Strzok. What's up, Yes Gunner? Kevin Howe. Hey, Chris. Artie Art. Al Furl. New name. Birdie Bound Brian. We got him in the chat. Ogden Bell. JS. Point Fire. Jeremy. What will we get into first, y'all? Just kick back a little bit here into the week. They're telling us not only are they letting in everybody in the border, they're indicting Trump. Now we can't even have our late night cereal. LNC. What's the best cereal, y'all? Some of you may know, OGs and core listeners, core viewers of the show know that late night cereal is a very important and just important part of my life growing up. LNC with the fam. LNC stands for late night cereal. Sacred moments shared while growing up. Captain Crunch, okay. Fruity Pebbles, okay. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We got the big boys in the chat. Obviously, this is the best thing about Trump Force 1, 2. One of the best things. Raisin Bran 2 scoops, though. I'm not too surprised. I'm not too surprised that someone likes Raisin Bran 2 scoops. It gets a bad rap. I know some people close to me who say Raisin Bran 2 scoops is the best. Cocoa Puffs, all right. We got some big boy, big hitter cereals. We got them all on board, by the way. We got them all on board. So Cocoa Puff, cinnamon. Okay. Cheerio. You gotta love the Cheerios. Honey Nut Cheerios. They're saying Kellogg's. What are they saying about Kellogg's? You should purge Kellogg's from your pantry, says Blaze Media. Okay, I see the big boys. Dino Pebbles. Okay, isn't that Lucky Charms? Okay, going hard with the Lucky Charms. You know, I really like the cereal of the Lucky Charms. The marshmallows were fine, but the cereal of the Lucky Charms had an interesting taste. Blueberry. Oatmeal. Okay, we have someone. We have obviously we have John Townsend's of Townsend's in the chat. What are you eating? What? We got an oatmeal eater in the chat.
They don't have the best reputation. They're known
Is this
for
you?
being very brawdy,
Oatmeal eater in the chat?
loud, drunkards, rough on the laundry, difficult to work
This
with.
is you, right?
Not
This
the
is
most
how you
pleasant
live?
women to be around. But usually they are from the very lowest class of people.
That's your
So often when
that's
we're
your
thinking
homely
about the
wife
18th century, we can learn
beating
a lot.
the
Often,
dough
But
for
usually
the day,
they are from
or the cheese,
very
or whatever the
lowest
heck
class
she's
of
doing.
people.
That would take her all day.
So-
So, anyways, for the rest of us, granola bars, oatmeal, graham crackers. Okay, all good stuff. All good stuff. Look, top tier. We might have to do a tier list here. Everybody's giving in their own ideas here. Fruity Pebbles, Dino Pebbles. Someone said that. Isn't that like cheap? Fruity Pebbles. Isn't that knockoff? No name brand. Fruity Pebbles. I got the box cutters. Right on, y'all. Well, thanks for that. We might have to do a tier list here of cereals, but nobody said one cereal that was discontinued, came back. Let me hit you with two, in fact, two big boy cereals that you may not, no one's naming here. These are hard hitters. One of them hard to find for a while there. I'm talking about Oreos. Oreo-O's. You can't even find these. I think they came back. Okay, these. Now this top tier. I'm talking definitely A-list, possibly S-class cereal for LNC. Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. French Toast Crunch. I know everybody likes the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Okay. I know everybody does, but you got to hit him with the French Toast Crunch. VIP meals on the flight. You know it. Birdie Bound Brian with the first class super chat. Obviously, we got someone who wants all this bottomless cereal. Birdie Bound Brian, thank you. First class super chat says loyalty, duty, respect, selflessness, honor, integrity, personal courage. Can't fly Trump Force One without it. Thank you, sir. Please sit in your seat and enjoy LNC to your heart's content. We even have the little boxes, the little mix and matches, little boxes of cereal. Okay, we got it all. You ever open these up and put the milk directly in the bag, directly in the cereal box? In the cereal box. Anybody? The cereal box. What's up, chat? What's up, chat? Kicks. Okay, all right. We got it all. Look, you guys got it. Everybody's saying the big ones, okay? Almost every cereal has bioengineered food ingredient. Nice. Kicks. Yeah, nobody said Fruit Loops. Okay. All right, y'all. Hold on here. Let's get up to flight level 450 here. We definitely want to get up there. And open up the air phone and take calls, y'all. 760-515-3855. Oh, oops, I didn't mean to play that. Oops. Okay, we're flying beautifully, honestly. There'll be a little bit of weather, like I said. Okay. Flight level 450. Ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you, we're turning off the seatbelt sign here shortly. Nice. No grapes, no nuts. What's up, Blackie Lilith? That's a new name. Taking care of business, bear. Welcome. Sugary cereal in the morning is beta male? No. You gotta understand. Here's the thing I don't get. What's up with all the sugar hate? Cookie Crisp. Okay, hitting us with something, hitting us with like a more, with like a little bit of an interesting one. I like it. Cookie Crisp. Hey, what's up, Sugar Pancake Face? Welcome. It's nice to have you here joining us. I know you were asleep for the takeoff. You just woke up. We made sure to take care of you. You're in your seat on your way to Seattle. Hope you boarded the correct flight. You came in real tired and just knocked out as soon as you sat down. But you know, we got you. We're treating you nice. We got you on board here. Had a blanket we had a blankie over you. On our way to Seattle International. What's up, Hillary T? Bunch of you just waking up. Bunch of you just waking up on board. Cozy way to wake up, don't you think? Nice and cozy. Nice and cozy. Cozy. Some of the boxes will tell you they're sweet and delicious, while others may claim to be heart healthy. What Kellogg's products should tell you is that each sale supports open borders, rioting, and radical leftism. What? Not even our cereal is sacred? You're telling me sacred LNC, late night cereal, has been tainted with the dirty hands of dirty little brown hands? They're dirty because they have dirt on them, okay? I'm not dehumanizing them. They're just dirty little hands, like they have dirt on them from crossing the border. Open border O's. Puffed wheat, okay. Someone's got to hit you got to hit them with the you got to hit them with the mini wheats. Can we just give the non-frosted mini wheats to all the illegals? Just have them have these. Not the frosted mini wheats. Frosted mini wheats goes hard. That's ours. That's the milk and honey they talked about. That's the milk and honey Merle Haggard was talking about. Okay? Frosted mini wheats. All right? Fight inside of meat. Get them out of here. Nice call. Nice call there. But yeah, so even the tiny little brown immigrant hands have tainted our cereal here. The innocence of LNC. What's up, Zuzu? Welcome. Blackie Lilith. Are you looking for work, Blackie Lilith? I know we have some lovely flight attendants on board right now. We have so many on board, I think. We have a few on board. You guys can kind of relax. Sugar Pancake Face, are you looking for work? Let's not get distracted. We're talking about cereal tainted. You know, we've been talking about immigration. It's kind of been Russell Brand, Attack on Men, New Low. It's been immigration. Just crazy, really. I mean, one thing you have to say about this thing kind of should blow it wide open and make anybody listening to this realize how crazy the southern border is. If you saw those images, people just pouring in, everybody sees that and knows, okay, something's wrong here. And you might think, well, they're trying, something's being done, right? Let me just clear that up right now. Let me clear that up for everyone right now. There's literally been attempts to fix it. Not only is it possible and totally within abilities to do so, all attempts have been thwarted by the government. Let's not even talk about the wall. We don't have to go there. We don't even have to go to the wall. But remain in Mexico, where illegals had to remain in Mexico while their asylum got approved. Or what about the other policy where, you know, you can't just apply for asylum here if you're from a country far away. You got to try somewhere else first. If you're really running away, you're a refugee, you're seeking asylum from, I don't know, whatever, from your country, the country right next to you should be sufficient. So you got to try it there first before you try it here. And a number of other policies, all reverse Trump policies. The government wants this. They want it. So it's been a bit of a theme, but I care about the real topics. Cereal, not my cereal. We got Kohlberger Art with the first class super chat. Thank you, sir. Please sit in your seat. Our lovely flight attendants will take care of you. And yes, we have bottomless cereal on board. Okay. Anybody hear a buzzing? Let me know if you guys hear like a buzzing. I think it's like a graphical error, some kind of graphical thing going on with my stream. Well, let me say hi to y'all first. I haven't really said hi. I haven't really shown my face, shown my camera, the full camera here. What's up, y'all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're kind of way past that, huh? Just saying hi to y'all. Mini Nick is stowed below in a carrier with the suitcases. Yeah, Mini Nick, we got Mini Nick on board somewhere. He's out there making some jokes or something, or being silly. Mini Nick. What's up, Jeremy? Hey, this is your captain speaking, the American Anchorbaby. Thank you. Not the cereal. Not our cereal. LNC. Frosted Flakes. Nobody said Frosted Flakes. That's top tier. Come on. That's at least A or B. That's at least A class, B class. You know what I mean?
Today's the day I'm going to rank every cereal known to man. And make no mistake, this list will upset you. One second.
Every cereal known to man? What Kellogg's products should tell you is that each sale supports open borders, rioting, and radical leftism. This is an indisputable fact, just like the number of calories in a serving. You know, Hake was talking about something funny. This is just tangent central, okay? We're having fun Friday night. We're doing our thing, okay? Hake Report. Great episode today. Definitely want to check it out. What was it? They were talking about body image. It was funny. Body image. What was it? It was something interesting about body image. Men today, young men today, caring a lot about body image. Being afraid to go to the pool because you're too fat. Need to lose a few. I'm remembering, speaking of calories here in this article, growing up, I had sisters, and somehow I stayed so manly. What's up, Zuzu? Thank you for the super chat there. Please sit in your first class seat. But my sisters complaining and caring about their self-image. I guess it got to me one day. I was really young, and for a week, I think it must have been for a good week, I thought every calorie was like a pound of weight. And so I'd look at the calories or something, and it said 100 calories. I'm like, 100 pounds? For like a whole week, I didn't eat. I'm like, that's like 100 pounds. What are you talking about? Each box of Special K that sold benefits the Kellogg Foundation. Every conservative knows about George Soros' support of left-wing activists. George Soros. Wasn't it Hake's guest who recently said the only reason we all know about George Soros and conservatives are railing against him is because Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't like him? Sugar Pancake Face with the super chat. Thank you for that. Please sit in your first class seat. It's all yours. And, let me know if you're looking for work. Yeah, is that true? Anybody know anything about that? Benjamin Netanyahu and George Soros? I mean, I believe his guest called himself a deep leftist. But his commentary, his railing against Oliver Anthony and this George Soros stuff sounded kind of based. I just know what base stuff sounds like. See, here's the thing about me, y'all. I'm not based. I just know what base stuff sounds like so I can follow patterns and stuff. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, when I know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know when I know that I know. Yeah, Soros' fear-mongering came from normies, not white nationalists. Rupert Murdoch? I don't know what I'm talking about. But the cereal, our innocent cereal that we were enjoying Tabor J. Eaton with this first class super chat says all cereals have been compromised by global homo. Thank you for the super chat there. Please sit in your first class seat, and thank you for bringing us back on topic here. Bringing us back here. Thank you. The Kellogg's Foundation. Are they really supporting this incredible mess? I just wanted box tops, y'all. Box tops equals illegals? No. Each box of Special K that's sold benefits. Every conservative knows about George Soros's support of left-wing activists, but few are aware of just how influential the Kellogg Foundation is. The foundation distributes hundreds of millions of dollars worth of grants every year. Its immense wealth is due to its large ownership stake in the Kellogg Company. This trust owns 16% of Kellogg's. That stock worth $3.2 billion. The trust uses these assets to fund the foundation. For example, the trust funded the Kellogg Foundation with $387 million. Okay, and so this foundation just pumps money into all this stuff. Kellogg Foundation has supported beyond policing research, advocating defunding the police. What? I just wanted Frosted Flakes, y'all. Yo, Special K strawberry? Special K strawberry. I'm sorry. Ivana, Sion, or Sugar Pancake Face, if one of you could be so kind. I know some of you are sitting in first class seats. Don't let me bother you, but when you get a chance, if you get up on your way, maybe if you got some, if you bring me over a bowl of some of that Special K strawberry. I'm gonna be doing hella bowls tonight. I'm talking about cereal, and so please, we'll kick off the night with some Special K strawberry. Thank you. But it's corporate America. I mean, I mentioned this before. I do love that phrase, commie capitalism. The Hake Report, in my eyes, coined that. That's who coined that for me. Commie capitalism. That unholy matrimony between corporate America and the government. Okay, this is like, someone called it, someone very smart, socioeconomist, that kind of type person called it, what is it? Third wave of society, nation building or something like that. We're just like in a new freaking world, and it's like all about information. Anyways, Kellogg's, are we supposed to stop, Alfurled, not funny. Are we supposed to ban, like, boycott everything? We saw that it was effective, sticking it to the pockets of these companies, but I don't know if it's if that's the move here anymore. It's kind of a little deeper than, oh well, these companies, it's just the free market, and they're just Nick is a shill for General Mills. Yep, General Mills and 𝒏𝒄𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. What's up, Anna? Dr. Shiva. I was checking him out. Very interesting stuff, Anna. Welcome to the flight. Thank you. But I'm talking about boycotting all this stuff. We're supposed to boycott. We're going to end up boycotting everything. Purity spiraling until there's nothing. Because let's think about like a Black Rifle Coffee. Conservatives. You don't need your coffee from these leftist organizations. And what did Black Rifle Coffee go and do? They turned around and turned on Kyle Rittenhouse. Therefore turning on America, turning on the truth, turning on, you know what I mean? Anytime those companies or individuals turn and do this thing on the truth, it's not just Kyle Rittenhouse that Black Rifle Coffee turned on. They turned on the truth, and a little obsidian shard came off of the truth and shattered. and the people in the cave watching got a little stupider. You liking this analogies? Where's Frederick? Where's Frederick where's Frederick when I need to do analogies and get lost in the weeds, going deeper and deeper into meta levels never heard before? Black Rifle Coffee is for betas, but remember, it was for alphas. It was like, yo, Black Rifle Coffee, bro. Yo, you conservatives. Shoot guns, and we're gonna shoot our opposition metaphorically while we buy coffee and get hopped up. So it's a little deeper than boycotting companies, because it's not. I don't think it's just like free market stuff anymore, because you got to understand, it's not it really isn't that the majority of people in this country are just woke tards, and it's like, and then it's just us. We're just here in the belly of the beast. It kind of feels like that, but you got to understand, I know some of us here in the chat are so based that, you know, we've looked at some of these other conservatives and cut them off, but when you add them all together, all the way from Ben Shapiro to Nick Fuentes, you got half the country. Okay, it's pretty significant. It's pretty much, it goes anyway. And so if I'm supposed to follow this argument of free market, these companies are just catering to a demographic and making money. Well, these companies are really big, monopoly style. We're talking monopoly level companies. Wouldn't they want to open up the market to all? Why cut off a half of the market that way? It doesn't seem like profit is the motivation here. Profit, pure profit. Okay. So this, I don't know about this whole. I know they stuck it to Bud Light. I know they stuck it to the man with whatever boycotting, and I get it. And Rumble's been really cool too, but even Rumble is like, didn't they ban Nick Fuentes or something like that? Even Rumble, the free speech platform, like, you can purity spiral on them, and I'm grateful for Rumble. I'm even grateful for YouTube. I'm following the rules any way I can, and I enjoy the outreach. And there's a time and place for all things. But I don't think it's anymore. It's not really about let's boycott and change it, because I don't think they care about that. Big tech, YouTube, for example, they don't. It's not about open and have people, have a diverse content creators and all that. It's geared and it's particular and it's shaped in certain ways. In other places, it's allowed to roam free. Okay, see what I'm saying? So I don't think it's even about that. It's like deeply embedded in the government. We could do our best putting our money where our mouth is and our beliefs and all that, but we gotta. It's like the people are retarded, right? The people are retarded. So, gotta start working our way out of that, climbing out of that, which I don't know if that's feasible. It'll get worse before it gets better type thing. I don't know. Oh. Something's happening with the plane. We're in the cockpit. Moving funny here. Oh, okay. We gotta boost our throttle here. There you go. That should be a lot more stable of a flight. We should be hitting 45,000 feet in the air very shortly here. We need better kings and ruling people. And we need to produce them. So whatever. Uphill battle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're pretty much at our cruising altitude here, ladies and gentlemen. We do have the lines open now. That's 760-515-3855 if you do want to call in.
Oh yeah. Hey yo, man. Ain't nothing like a nice bowl of cornflakes in the morning to smooth you out. Milky cereal,
Baby.
milky cereal, milky, cereal,
Baby.
milky, cereal. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the baddest female of them all? It was Frosted Flake. She loved to bowl, and although her skin was white, she had a lot of soul. Rich female, very debonair, driving her rolls with rollers in her hair. We was hanging out, pumping the stereo. She took me to a club. I think the name was Cheerios. She walked like she was jumping a hurdle. I was happy as a kid that just saw Mutant Ninja Turtles. A guy walked over, said your earrings cute. I said I'm wearing an earring, but it ain't no Fruit Loop. Me and Frosted went to get a drink, but she ordered something bugged and I ain't know what to think. She ordered potassium and calcium, carbohydrate, scotch with sodium. She took me to a crib, threw me on the couch. I woke up the next morning with a spoon in my mouth. She's milky, cereal,
Baby.
milky, cereal, milky, cereal,
Baby.
milky, cereal, milky.
What should we do now?
Baby.
Milky, cereal, milky, cereal, milky, cereal. I went to Vegas, didn't think it'd do any harm.
Thank you, Ivana. Very kind of you. Ladies bringing me the cereal. Appreciate that.
She had a salary that was full of calories for real, and I was in the mood for a home-cooked meal. So we went to be alone, but we had to be quiet because the corn pops was home. Kiss the neck, kiss the back, kiss the arm.
Why would you do that at someone's...
Let me see your lucky charms. When we began a
Anybody ever
but when I left the next morning, it looked
doing
like
that at
we
her
talked
parents'
about
house? What the? LL Cool J.
It's such a waste of Rice Krispies. She had a roll with the velour material.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hello, Mr. Cereal. I came this morning to deliver the paper. He said, stop fronting. I know you caught the vapors. That's my daughter, so save the crooning. You better find another bowl of cereal to stick your spoon in. You know what I'm saying?
All right, y'all.
Milky, cereal,
Baby.
Okay.
milky, cereal,
Got so many windows, so many tabs. Hold on.
cereal.
Anything else on this catalog stuff? The power of our wallets is immense. It's about time we realize that. Conservatives simply should not have Pop-Tarts in their pantry. Does it feel like we have power? It honestly seems like these things that are coming down the pipeline. I mean, what do we do? White's gotta there's gotta be a continuation after it all. You know what I mean? It seems like every other race has some semblance of that. Birth rate so low, you gotta think about it. Like all these people coming in. I mean, there just can't be an end. Like, let's say an end of America, an end of a... Fine, so be it. Things coming down the pipeline, people so corrupt, war looming, blah, blah, blah. Things we can't control. I'm not saying just, we just got to take it, let them all in, but what can you do as an individual? Okay, fine. Maybe nothing. Coming down the pipeline, so be it. But white people got to... y'all got a contingency plan? Okay, when it all falls apart, we gotta, I don't know, make a place, make a nation, get together and keep our people going. y'all got a backup plan? Because you got your daughters out here. You got your daughters out here saying, no, don't you dare bring up race, even though these POC teens ran over my dad in a senseless attack, running him over on a bike. 64 years old, is dead. Thank you, Hillary T, with the first class super chat. Your ticket's all yours. Please sit in your seat. You got your daughters out here saying Black Lives Matter. You know, it's not looking good. All right. What's Rumble saying? I haven't seen you guys. Hey, Rumble. Sorry if I missed any chats, rants, or anything. I got you guys open. What's up, Rumble? Rumble.com/American Anchorbaby.
governor. Officials across the state are praising
Praise the
President Joe
right
Biden
of
for the
single
decision
mother.
to grant
Oops.
temporary
I didn't mean
protective
to do
status
that.
to newly arrived Venezuelan migrants. The move will give them a fast track to work legally. While the news was welcomed by many, immigration advocates say there's still more work left to do. CBS 2's Andrew Ramos has more on the local reaction.
You heard about this on the Hake Report? Venezuelans. They got the Venezuelans out here. Hold up.
After months of sounding the alarm over the ongoing migrant crisis that has overwhelmed city agencies, some temporary relief now in sight. The Biden administration announced that it will grant nearly 500,000 Venezuelan migrants temporary protective status.
Exactly. There's no one trying to stop it. So that any questions of there should be no gray area or question at all. This conversation about illegal immigration, the border, if this conversation is ever had, if there's anyone saying, oh, I don't know, maybe it's just, they're trying, it's just a difficult problem, there's things being done, there's you got to give it time, there's work, there's ways to do this in a correct way, they need time, blah blah blah. Anyone saying that is either just absolutely ignorant or just a bad actor lying about the situation, because I laid it out clearly. The government, there's policies and things that were enacted, and they were removed. They were undone. Remain in Mexico, the freaking wall, the border wall. So that should be out of the conversation. That wondering if the government can do something, if they're doing something, they're not. Texas, all of them. Okay? You see this? Who was it? Texas Governor Abbott actually getting the National Guard, declaring an invasion and mobilizing the National Guard. Haven't people been saying that for years now? Hey, Abbott, you have this in your power. Declare an invasion, declare an emergency, and get the National Guard. This was September 20th. Hello? That was 2 days ago. How long has it been? Texas governor declared an invasion at the southern border. So that has to be out of the conversation. Are they doing something? Can they do something? Not only can they do something, they're not doing it. They want this. I officially declared an invasion because Biden's policies. We are building a border wall, razor wire, and marine barriers. Can we get turrets? Yeah, Troy. Shut down the government until it's fixed. Shut it down. There's a looming shutdown. They're talking about this shutdown. It's supposed to be this shutdown. Yet again, how many times has this happened? We're at precipice of a shutdown. You better. And then it's just same old, nothing happens. Now, you already know the open border is the government's organized business. Yeah, Anna, that's a good point. Two great points from the chat here. Government shutdown, first of all. Trump tried that, okay? I'm just repeating stuff that you already know, but it's good for posterity. Trump did the biggest, longest shutdown in history for the southern border. He's like, I need money. Look, shut it down. Not even that worked. You can have your criticism on giving in or whatever from Trump, but not even that worked. Republicans, they had everything, the House, everything. They're like, let's shut it down until we get the spending for the wall and we fix the border. And not even that worked. And Anna, yeah, open border. Look, there is, for these people playing SimCity, the leaders who are playing SimCity with us in our lives, there is a acceptable and reasonable amount of chaos, crime, illegal rapes, illegals raping Americans, homelessness, poverty, drug addiction. There's a reasonable, acceptable amount. There's a bit of an experimentation going on with those levels, with those levers and knobs with society. And there's an acceptable amount, okay? And keeping it stable is strategically better than actually fixing the situation. Because you keep the money going, you keep everything kind of in status quo, you keep it kind of going. It's easier and more strategically enriching for those handling it all, okay? Exactly, Troy. It's all part of the plan. Look, I'm stressing this because I feel like we kind of talk about this whole situation in that way, especially in these past few years, in this past 10 years. The talk is like, okay, they want to do this, but it's kind of been, tentative speaking that way. I think we can be clear about it now. This is the plan. This is what they want. And the fact that it's happening in every European, Western nation and ramping up to increasing levels with no end in sight. It can't end. There's no more, conspiracy talk. No more. No. This is the plan. This is what's wanted. And why? You got to wonder why, right? And we've talked about different reasons why on this show. The local level, domestic level of changing demographics of an area and how that changes voting patterns, etc. There's the immediate strategic move of changing demographics in a local area. But there's also the grander kind of bird's eye view of the situation. And I like to keep it simple. Maybe I'm too simple. Maybe I'm too simplistic. You tell me if I'm wrong. 760-515-3855. But there seems to be the bigger picture of, well, a nation needs a couple of things to keep going, like a business, like a well-oiled machine. You need people, right? You need work, you need stuff, and you need people making it all happen. And as you know, all the Western countries have very low birth rates. Okay, so it's a plateauing / downward, totally actually torpedoing for some, the whites, the blacks particularly, torpedoing birth rates. So how do you keep something going and growing? Because you want this trajectory. The people in charge, they want to go up. They want this trajectory, the trajectory the America has had for the whole time. So how do you keep it going? Well, you need the people. You need people. So but the people here are not making people. And they're less productive. And there's a downward trend in many things. In morality, productivity, all sorts of things. But yet they require a certain standard of living, certain amenities, certain things to be productive members of the society in the eyes of the people running things. So what do? You start bringing them in. You start importing them. So here are the business owners insulated from any effects of crime, immigration, changings of demographics, insulated from any negative effects of those things. But they're able to bump up numbers or whatever to keep things going. Matthew says, you need to make babies, fool. I did my job. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Matthew. And this is a good thing that you're bringing up, Matthew, because I'm seeing the immigration thing. It's not just, there's like multiple things going on here. And there's something quite simple and deep going on. Like with all problems, if you really examine it, it's very simple and very personal. Here's what I mean. Yes, you got these psycho criminals, villains at the top, out of what? Greed or whatever, wanting to keep things going. You gotta keep the scheme going. Well, it wasn't a scheme, it was a nation that was growing fine. But this same nation now has a sickness, and the sickness, one of the symptoms we're talking about, one of them, these low birth rates. So you see the immigration and the unfettered pouring in of the people also is a reflection of the failure in soul of the people of the nation. Unable to have enough babies and be industrious enough and whatever enough to keep it going. Right, we're ignoring the top-down effects of these people, the leaders, exacerbating these effects for what we can what we can reason is mere reasons of greed, desperation, wanting to keep the whole thing going, keep the freaking whole thing still spinning, despite a bleeding. There's a bleeding, a hemorrhaging. But you know what? Let's just keep pouring in blood instead of fixing the hemorrhaging. We'll just keep pouring it in. You see what I'm saying? So you see the mass of people pouring in at the border is a reflection of the sullen and empty soul of America, of the people, and being so sullen and replaceable, becoming sullen and replaceable, just mere numbers. You see what I'm saying? And so there's a bit of a self-responsibility thing going on here too. Yeah, these criminal, Gotham City level psychos who are up there saying, yeah, more homeless, more immigrants, more. You're being raped by them? No, but you don't understand. You didn't produce enough. You didn't make me enough stuff. Whoosh. Oh, your kids are a little, they're sick. Whoosh. Sorry, get out of the way. Make way for these young immigrants who are gonna take your job. Get out of my way. You're in my way, Americans. You're in my way. I see your calls coming in. Sorry I missed them. Please call in 760-515-3855. In fact, I have one of you calling in now. We must stop importing low IQ people from the Southern Hemisphere. 100%. Or we'll have we'll have their society here. I got a caller on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
This is Frederick from LA, baby.
Frederick, sir. Thank you for your call.
What's going on, Nick?
All is well. We flying the plane, doing our thing. No complaints.
That's right. Nice, I gotta explain this to you one more time. All right.
Please, I'm listening.
All right. It ain't about if you have more babies or not. The elite can't tell you that they need bodies and socials to print money and drain the economy. They got to print money off birth certificates or people that's going to go in debt in the future. They already drained America. Now, white folks is holding on to their money. They done used up all the debt with the boomers. Now we got to get these immigrants in. And Wall Street shows poor people have a better return on a dollar because they're desperate.
Yeah, they're willing to take more too.
And
willing to take worse conditions, worse living conditions. Exactly. It's all an upgrade from where they're coming from. So in the eyes of the leaders, they're easy numbers.
Exactly. They doing studies over in the Philippines on how this population still growing, and they're living off about $240 annual income. They're going to restaurants, digging through the garbage, grabbing chicken that's already been eaten, and then they put salt and flour on it and recook it, and they sell the forks from the restaurant. There's going to be states here like that eventually.
That's crazy. What a shame.
Because everybody's hoarding money.
But you're saying it's because people are hoarding money?
Yes.
Help me understand that.
Interest on interest, baby. You can get so much money, you just live off the interest.
But you're saying the rich people hoarding money?
Yes.
But what about
how
does that?
And they're living off the interest and using loopholes. They know how this country's ran, and that kosher to Kellogg's, that's just one company. They went to every
Kellogg's is kosher too.
Yeah, they went to every company and said, either you give us your ingredients, let us come in and see how it's made, transport it, we'll give you the okay, and then our Jews will eat your food.
But how is rich people hoarding wealth? What does that have to do with all this unfettered immigration?
Because they got to print money, and they don't print the money for the interest that they loaning the money for.
So they're like messing up the monetary system, just exacerbating everything.
They draining America for its money, and bringing in cheap labor to replace the money that they're taking out. Whether you have babies, your babies are still going to be the cheap labor of the future. You
Right.
still have a chance of being a white or having your kids be the slaves to the corporate, but you're not going to fix the problem until we fix the problem today.
Right, we fix the
It's
people
uplifting them and paying them for doing nothing.
until we fix the people.
Exactly. Why do they
Right,
not
be
care
Christians. We need Christians.
No, the
So
Christians
true,
are
right?
the one giving them power.
Wait, what? Those aren't
Christians are
Christians.
giving them power.
Those aren't Christians. Those are like weird, like secular, like
Oh no,
cults.
Oh, no.
They don't believe in
America
God.
built
Those people don't believe in God.
America built Israel.
Yeah. Those people don't believe in God. Those aren't Christians. You're talking about like rhinos, neocons,
Rhinos, yeah, everybody that knows the truth that plays the game.
liberals, people with anger. So that just means they're liberal.
Yeah.
Easily controlled.
Anybody
That's
that
what you're
knows the
talking
truth.
about. I'm talking about Christians. We need Christians running things.
See, they can't because then they'll know the truth and they won't be Christians no more. Once they get into power and know how America works, all the atheists are running things because they know it's a game. Y'all still praying and believing, and they saying, "Oh yeah, we got."
So you agree with me though? Exactly. That's exactly. You're saying
Yeah,
if they
I
got in
agree.
there, they
I
would see
agree.
the truth. They would see the truth that it's all controlled, whatever. So you agree with me
But they never
that
dropped
that's
their
what needs to
Christian
change,
labels,
the people
though.
controlling it.
Once they get in the top, they never drop their Christian labels. They
I
start
understand that
running
you're saying
churches.
it's difficult, and I understand you're saying it's unlikely, but you essentially agree with the premise, though, that we need to fix the people running it, the elites. I say they need to be Christian. You disagree, though.
I do disagree. I think they need to tell the people that this game, this book that they made was nonsense.
I
To wake
gotcha.
up the Christians so they can start being thinkers of themselves instead of just followers and sheep.
Interesting. But we essentially agree that the solution is a fixing of the elite, of the rulers, and of the people that made these people. You're so what's your answer? You're saying you agree with that, but we can't make them Christian. That's the problem.
Anarchy
So what do you
is the
think they
answer.
should be?
Anarchy is the answer.
You want anarchists? But wait, so you want anarchists,
We
elite
take 'em-
people?
Yes, the power are in the people. The people that's on the ground doing the job that make the corporations run. That's gonna go in and hold everybody accountable to show transparency of how much you charging from picking the wheat, from growing the food, to the taxes you add on it, to the overpayment to say, hold on, where's these billions of dollars?
When has that ever happened? When has that ever happened? Ever in the history of the world?
That's exactly. You want to fix it. This is what we're talking about. We can't talk about when has that ever happened. We got to talk about this is about to happen in the future. We're going to hold them accountable where they got to show their income. Kosher people don't have to show their income, how much they make. They don't get audited. They're just like a entity, and nobody can touch them. And everybody turns a blind eye and uplifts them and let them do what they want to do.
But your fantasy requires all these individuals, and I'm imagining it's a diverse, all men, women, all. It's
Right.
It's not just men. You're saying it requires all these individuals to be basically moral people. I'm saying the people are retarded. You're saying you're saying let's give it to. You said you want this anarchy and you want this basically ultimate power to every individual, but that's how we got here. I think we gotta accept. We gotta accept. Wait, hold on. I'll let you finish.
Okay, go ahead.
We gotta accept that most people aren't gonna get it. Most people, they're not gonna get it. The way to destruction, the road to hell is wide, right? And most people aren't gonna get it. And we need a strong father, a strong a strong leadership, strong father to set it right politically in those ways, and then let the people kind of lead by example, sort of a Christian example, and then let the people fall the chips where they may, and life go as it may. Like, I really liked what this guest on the Hake Report said the other day. 99% of people used to know that they had not only no business, but no real power to affect the country, politics, etc. So you know what I mean? So
I don't believe that.
We need to have like Christian leaders who will do the right thing and handle it, because the people, they just gotta They're not gonna get it, and they shouldn't.
That-
We shouldn't
that
have
goes
all this
along with-
power, all this democracy to all these people. It's a mistake. It's a huge mistake.
Can
We
you
need
prove someone's a
we need the
Christian? Nick?
patriarchy, the way
Can
God
you prove
intended.
someone's a
Father
Christian?
over women, over children, the way God intended, leading the country.
Can you prove someone's a Christian?
No, I don't think so.
So how can you put Christian person in power?
Well, they just have to be in power. Christians exist.
There's Christian people in power right now, and they're still effing the country.
No. Those are
Mike Pence is Christian.
no. That Mike Pence is like
No.
yeah, but
Christian.
even Mike Pence is more.
See,
even Mike Pence is a
you
better
can't have
and more
You want
decent.
Jesus in office. You can't have Jesus in office because Jesus didn't exist.
That would be That would
Man
be essentially the
is
best.
fallible.
But, I mean, that
Man
would be
is
the best,
fallible.
obviously. But we do what we can in the time that we're in. You know what I mean? So even Mike Pence is already better than a lot that's going on. Would be already kind of turning it around. Because these things take time as well. These things take time.
I think I like Jesse's message, and when you don't pick sides, you let go of the Christianity, because once you hold on to Christianity and that's your side, once y'all become such a small minority, I mean that's the side you're stuck with.
Well, it's not about the
It's still
side.
picking sides.
Well, for me, it's not about the side. It's not about when I'm telling you that we need a Christian-run society, and the people on the top running it because, just kind of in some ways forcing some things. When I say that, that's just kind of a general thing. That doesn't mean that I can't be common sense and strategic in my individual life today. What I mean by that is what you're saying. We shouldn't have this taking sides identification with that word Christian, because then that means tomorrow, let's say whatever candidate in whatever local election, we would ignore what's right in front of us because this person isn't saying the right thing or isn't calling himself a Christian or blah, blah, blah. So you make a good point in that we shouldn't, like Jesse says, we shouldn't have this identification taking side with this word. And I think when you do that, you'll be able to have a sober mind about people and see kind of their heart, because people kind of reveal themselves. And so earlier you said, can you know if it was a Christian? I mean, I can't read someone's heart, but when you have that sober mind, you can see how people act and what they say and kind of see their heart a little bit and see that they have a heart of a Christian, even if they don't call themselves that. Am I making some sense?
I don't know.
Because it's
Not
also,
really.
you're kind of saying like, you're kind of saying you don't believe in God too.
Belief system, yeah.
You're saying you're saying you don't believe in God. What are you saying? Go ahead. Repeat that.
No, I don't say I don't believe in God. But
that's what
saying
you're telling
when
us.
No, I don't believe in Jesus.
But you're saying you don't believe in God. You're almost saying, you're almost as if you're saying you don't have faith that God would give you the tools and understanding to be able to pick the right person to vote for. Yes, it's a worldly thing, but it's almost like you have no faith. Like you don't think God would give you the understanding to pick the right person at the right time?
God is not Christianity. If you say we need God,
right? Well, let's take Christianity out of it.
Huh?
Right. Then let's leave the Christian word out of it. You're saying you believe in God.
Okay. Then you could say, well, Muslims need to run United States or Catholics. They all have a God. I believe in God, and God should be in it, but not Christianity.
Gotcha. Not
Muslims, not Catholics, not the whole religion where everybody else has to do and live by the laws of this religion when it's a belief system.
I understand.
Can't prove it.
So what do you propose? What do you think people should believe in or whatever?
I'm just
I guess you kind of mentioned it. Anarchy.
Put the truth out there and let the people decide, instead of saying they get anathematized for believing, thinking, or writing any different since the Nicaea Council. You know what I'm saying? We can see the plagiarism even before then, even today in the Bible, that they teach that women's supposed to be submissive and only ask their husband if they want a question. All that's not going to fly in today's society. So using Christianity as a right to run the United States.
But that's silly. That's not Christianity. That's not Christianity. That's just like some person reading a book and thinking, okay, well, because in this book they said, oh,
Do they live by that book?
You woman, cover your face when you look at me and never look at me without a
Do
covered
they live
face.
by that book?
Well, I'm just saying that's just a person who read a book and the book said this woman should cover her face, and then you never want to look at a woman without a uncovered
And they
face. Like
live
that's
by the
ridiculous.
book, and
That's
now
not
they
Christianity.
laws by the book.
That's just reading some book. Christianity would have an understanding of the time period in today, but ultimately, what's undeniable is that you would be the head of your wife. Now, does that mean? Well, no. Are you really the head? Because the Bible says that she has to. You know what I mean? That's just you reading some story. That's not being the head of your wife, and that's not being a Christian. Christianity is first of all, it's real. It's not like reading a book. It's real. You really live it. You really are the head. And,
so you think the Bible's historical fact?
I think so. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man.
What?
I'm just saying that what you're describing is very obtuse, and that's not how Christianity is. Christianity, your heart changes, and then you are the head in the current age in 2023, not in Bible times. You know what I mean?
Y'all are really sweet.
But it would be for real. It's a spiritual thing. You can't even describe it. You can't be like, you can't look at a husband and be like, there's clues and signs, but you can't be like, well, I don't know, your wife is not wearing a head covering, and in Deuteronomy, women have head coverings, so it doesn't look like you're the head. No, that's obtuse and weird Bible thumping. That's not Christianity.
So people are going to interpret the Bible how they want to.
That's true.
There's no free will.
True.
There is free will. There's a Trinity. There's not a Trinity. And everybody's right, and they just hold on to their Christianity, and let's just make laws by whoever's in charge and how they just interpret it.
Kind of.
Yeah,
we would just be better off. We would just start off on a better foot with Christianity. Yeah, there'll be the locales, and maybe they're like Mormon over here, and maybe they're like more Protestant over here. But I'm okay with that kind of diversity. But at least we're on the right track, on the right foot with Christianity. The way the country started, that kind of stuff.
I think we've been going down that road since maybe since Ulysses S. Grant.
We've been going down what path?
Christianity in the White House.
Christianity in the White House?
Everybody's a Christian. Go across there and kiss that wall. Every president's been a Christian ever since. They go
what's
over
up with
there and
that?
praise and kiss
I
the
heard.
wall.
What's up with that?
You know what's up with it.
I really don't. I know about this wall in Jerusalem or somewhere in Israel, and I hear this from dissidents, haters. Not everybody's a hater though. Some people just have questions. They tell me about how presidents and stuff go over there and kiss this wall. What's up with all that?
All the Christians pray to the King of Jews, and the Jews don't even think he's the King of Jews, and they like, yeah. So y'all come over here and kiss our wall, cause y'all know the truth. We the chosen people, and that lying dude fooled y'all, but we'll still accept y'all cause they got y'all living better. But come kiss our wall.
Come on, man, don't be like that.
That's what they're saying to y'all.
I like America first and all that, but don't be like that, okay?
Benji is
Don't be
pimp.
like that. Don't be like that.
Benjamin
don't be like
Netanyahu
that.
needs to stop.
So what? I'm not picking. I'm not picking Benji for president. I'm picking Trump. Let Trump. Let Trump cook. Let Trump kiss the wall. Let him move Jerusalem. Let him make the money. Let him do the whatever. I'm cool with that. Let him cook. Well, by the way, what's with the other? But what? Look. Israel influence on American politicians, we can agree is wrong. Can we agree on that? But why? What's up with your your distaste? It seems personal if you're against moving of an embassy. What's the big deal? Let them have their embassy. Let them kiss the. What's up with the kissing? Show me impropriety, and I'll be like, I'm there with you. But this sounds like just personal.
No, they over here. They got Jews separating themselves from the original Jews. I mean, from the ones that's in power. That's what's going on. You got some Jews over here just like these Jews done got out of control, and we're gonna stand up and speak up for them. And now even the Christians over in Israel, they standing up against the Jews. So it's starting in Israel, and y'all catch on. Yeah, y'all catch on later.
All right.
Benjamin Netanyahu's just over there turning up the government, trying to make himself a dictator, and even the people over in Israel mad at him. And Biden just went over and told them cut that stuff off because Iran's about to get it. Saudi
Based
Arabia
Biden?
wants to nuke now. Yeah,
So
Biden.
so Biden's our guy, and Biden ended up being our
No,
guy.
he tried to tell him you on
Biden.
your own if you keep on messing with Iran. He told him, we ain't going to back you if you keep on messing with Iran now. They trying to come to the table and make a nuclear agreement. You don't want them to have one just because you want to bomb them and expand Israel.
Well, we're giving
We know
Saudi
what
Arabia
Russia-
one, and so now Iran's like, well, if they have one, we should have one. So it's like, great.
Yeah, exactly. No, they said if they get one, we getting one, definitely. They already in cahoots with each other. Saudi Arabia and Iran done shook hands after Trump gave them that $100 billion. And Jared
So if
Kushner
they
went
shook
over there
hands,
and
does that mean they're friends with Israel too?
No. Iran and Saudis are friends, not Israel.
So, but there's a bridge now with America and Trump, or not even Trump, but America, right? Saudi Arabia, peace agreement, blah, blah, blah.
No. Saudi Arabia.
Is there some bridge going on with Israel? I heard they want to build a transnational railway and start some trade that runs through Israel.
That's bricks. That's not.
No. This is something else. This is something else. Not bricks.
No. Iran and Saudi Arabia is not messing with Israel.
All
They're
right.
not messing with Israel. They're going to wipe them off the map pretty soon. They trying to get nukes over there in the Middle East. And Benjamin Netanyahu don't want them on no agreement. We already released their money. Iran got some money over there. I'm telling you. They're about to build up and make that the next power.
Interesting stuff.
That'll be words of
Netanyahu.
Arabs. It's cultural imperialism.
Do you know anything about Soros and Netanyahu?
Yeah, Soros ain't one of Netanyahu's boys. I know that much.
All right, Frederick.
He's against what Benjamin Netanyahu's doing because it's all about capitalism, police state. That's what they want here. Capitalism, police state. Stay in your house. All the police got a gun, and y'all feel safe like that.
Fascinating.
But it's gonna
Frederick,
be-
man, thank
It's
you.
not gonna be good. All right, Nick, not a problem. Keep the wheels rolling.
Yes, sir. Call me again,
But
man.
yeah, I'm putting this blanket together. This is a quilt. It starts off with the kosher tax, and then the immigration. You see how Kellogg's buy for the illegals, so they can start giving them fake loans to get them in the real estate, so they can bust the housing market. It's gonna be a mess, but they
It's all
gotta get them in
connected,
debt
man.
first. It's all connected. All right, you have a good one.
Thank you, sir. Call me again. Right on, y'all. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. Kick back, relax. You're flying Anchorbaby Airlines. You're flying Extreme. You're flying at all, huh? Take a little break. I'll be right back.
Milk and cereal, milk and cereal, cereal and milk, milk and cereal, cereal, milk and cereal, cereal and milk, 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 cereal and milk. I want my Wheaties. Give them to the needy. Feeling kinda greedy. I keep them for myself. 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 So put it up. Mom likes special care. Can't pitch an inch. You 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 can't pitch an inch. The magically delicious. Yeah, something like a charm. Blue diamond. Green gold. A is for apple. J is for Jack. You slip on a crack. You break your mama's back. Rice Krispies. Milk and cereal. Milk and cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk. Milk and cereal. Milk and cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk. Milk and cereal. Milk and cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk. Milk and cereal. Milk and cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk. Milk and stereo. Stereo, stereo. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk. Milk and Cheerio. Cereal and milk. Cheerio and milk. Cereal and milk. Cheerio, yo, 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 Cheerio, yo, yo, oh, yo, Cheerio, yo, Cheerio, yo, 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 Cheerio, yo, 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 in the morning, at your table. crackle pop, snap 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 crackle pop. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, 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 cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Tricks off for kids, 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 tricks off for kids.
I got a caller here. Let me get to my call. Appreciate that. Hold on.
Tricks off for kids, milk and cereal, milk and cereal, milk and cereal.
Hey, caller, your name and where are you calling from? I believe I got you on the air, caller. Do I still have you? Hello, hello. Test, test. Caller, you're on the air. Let's see if we can get him back. Flying beautifully here. We're in the cockpit. Let's see when is our descent here? When should we be starting our descent? We're looking at the MFD and our flight plan computer here. Okay, we are currently at Rufus. We're currently at Rufus, and our descent begins.
Scott in Arizona.
To accept, press 1.
Rufus, we got plenty of flight here, in fact, before we start our descent. Scott, Arizona. Sir, you're on the air. Thank you for your call. Scott, Arizona. I believe I have you on the air, sir. Thank you.
How's it going, Nick?
Hey, Scott. How you been, man?
I've been better, but I've been worse, too.
Right
I'm not
on,
complaining
sir.
about it.
Well, thanks for your call.
Yeah, bro. Hey, Frederick, I love Frederick's calls.
Me too.
Although I don't necessarily agree with him on a lot of stuff, I really appreciate his perspective, and he's got some good info people need to hear. There's a lot of truth to that kosher stuff he's talking about.
Yeah, I was kind of looking into it. There's definitely a lot of kosher stuff.
Oh, and there's a lot. You can read into that as much as you want, right? There's a lot of kosher stuff. But actually, I wanted to talk and change gears a little bit and talk about God.
Yes, by all means.
So, what's God's name?
Oh, I don't know. Yahweh, they say, I think.
Yeah, they say something like that, right? Well, so actually, Bill Lockwood presented this in one of his sermons a few months back, but the word God doesn't mean God.
Okay. The word that we use, like G-O-D, God.
Yeah, the word God does not mean like the one supreme being. In fact, it's a category. So like the way we call like tissues Kleenex. Right. We have destroyed God's name by using the category instead of his name. And actually, some people have spoken this. I remember, what is the name? Evil is Real.
Yes.
I remember him talking about it. I think it was on Take Show or maybe your show months ago, like 8 months ago. And again, there's a lot of truth to what he's saying. There's Jesus is a God, and Yahweh, that's the name that we have. I don't know if that's the name, the original name, but that's the name we have and transcended through time. Like Yahweh is a God, and Yahweh is the God of all gods, and Satan is a God. But just because they're all gods doesn't mean that they all have equal status to Yahweh, right?
Gotcha. That's why there could be multiple gods.
Right, right. And so then, like, it's really interesting because we have so little understanding, because you can't know history, right? Like, you simply can't know anything that's, like, to be true unless you've experienced it yourself. So I just find it really interesting the way we have a Christian religion that identifies as Christianity through the identity that Christ is God and they are the same being. And that's not true, but it is true that Christ is a God. And through the bastardization of storytelling, we've confused ourselves. We've allowed Satan to confuse us.
Interesting, man. So if Jesus is a God, what does that make us?
He's in the God. Well, we're not beings of that power, right?
Okay.
So I don't know. That's an interesting question. What is the taxonomy? I don't know. All I know is that there are gods, right? but it actually goes,
because you're saying this is giving you understanding here, and I'm trying to understand as well, and I'm trying to follow.
Okay, so, yeah.
I'm trying to follow a simple kind of logic here, and I think these God things are simple, ultimately. But what I'm saying is, okay, if Jesus is our brother, and you're saying he's not God, but he's a God in the sense of the categorization. A loose nebulous categorization
right.
of like a being, greater power, etc.
Well,
but not God. So what does that make us in reference, in context to Jesus and his relationship with us?
Well, I mean, oh man. Okay, first of all, there are two Jesuses, right? There's like the spirit of Jesus and the man of Jesus. And the spirit of Jesus, as the way I understand it, and I could be wrong, existed with God in heaven, both before, during, and after, right? His man life.
Did we exist before?
Okay, so that's where I was going to go next. So that brings you to an idea. It's like, what are we, right? Are we? And this is where you get into like theology and the unknown, and ultimately to think about it to a point is to be confused, because it's not super important. But like, are we extensions of God? Are we pieces of God? Like, are our spirits, are our souls fragments of God that are housed in these bodies, in these vessels? Or are our souls something else? Are they separate from God, right? And these bodies house something separate? Like, that's unknowable, right?
You think that's unknowable? So you can know God's name, but you can't know if you can know God's name and know the true name and know that we've been deceived by using God wrong, but you can't know if you're a part of him or what or who you are.
Yeah, because we don't have reference outside of our existence, right? Like, you don't know. It's the afterlife. It's foolish to label the afterlife as something specific.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like, we know life goes on, but we don't know what that is, what that looks like, what that feels like physically, emotionally, like anything. We don't know what that actually is. And maybe some people have gotten a glimpse of it because they've died and come back or something. I don't know. You know, and again, it's something that's unknowable because you can't actually experience it for yourself. And until you do, you just have to have a wait and see attitude and just accept that anything could be possible, right? But to go back to the God word and the Bible itself, there's so much confusion because the Bible is not real. It's not even real. It doesn't even, it never existed how we know it. Yeah, because I mean, being a little bit like hyperbolic and sensationalist, but the Bible itself was never something that intended or was intended to exist, right? But it was like Charlemagne, or I think it was Charlemagne and the ruler of Rome at the time, who commissioned it to be made.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
totally.
What it comes
if I can interject really quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
The way I see it is the same spirit that wrote the Bible, that worked through people to write the Bible, can work through a person to write any book, to write anything. That's how I see it. The same spirit that wrote the Bible can write literally anything. A song, a book that you read that exists right now, and you know what I mean, that is being sold today. Anyways.
Yeah, and it's not even important the spirit that wrote it. It's important the spirit that identifies with it.
How
right? Like when you read it, Like, let's say you're listening to a song, like, let's say you're listening to a Christian song, and you're like, oh, this song's so great, this is me. Well, now you're entered confusion because you're identifying with the experience as yourself. Right? But you can listen to the song and just enjoy it and have, you know, love and joy and bliss out of being in a state of experience. But you could have that same experience no matter what song is playing. And truly, when we have peace in our heart, we can be in the most extreme, chaotic, and undesired situation, but still have the true perfect peace of God moving in us and through us.
Interesting stuff, man. So if Jesus is a God, does that mean I am a God?
Well, it doesn't mean you are or you aren't, but it goes, let me take a step back, because it goes back to what the Bible is, right? Or where it came from, what the Bible was before it was commissioned. And it was a cultural understanding by very small groups of people, right? So for example, there's a part of the Bible that says, do not wear clothes of mixed cloth or mixed fabrics. God doesn't care about that. God doesn't care about that at all. Why does he care if you have cotton woven with silk and you're wearing it as a t-shirt or a shirt?
Right.
That doesn't make any
make sense.
Right? So when you dive into it and you actually look it up, well, what the Bible actually says is don't wear, and then it has a Hebrew word that is a very specific colloquial slang term that was what they called the robes of the pagan priests. And the slang word means woven together, but it was a metaphor for how the priests of paganism would weave together lies that sounded good to try and get Jews to become pagans. So when they said don't wear the robes of the pagan priests, they were talking about the pagan priests. And then somewhere down the line, someone that spoke another language from another culture didn't understand or blatantly lied about its meaning and said, no, this means don't wear clothes of mixed fabric.
Interesting stuff, man. So polyester is a sin. I'm with Hake.
My rayon. Oh no.
I'm with Hake. No polyester.
Yeah.
No, I have plenty.
No polyester. That's funny. That's funny.
Fascinating,
man.
sir.
Spandex is evil.
I appreciate you bringing like a interesting kind of different topic.
Oh, absolutely. But the juxtaposition of like now is impossible. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Because like you can't take the now and superimpose it with anything that ever was before or anything that ever will be. You just have now.
Right,
so
you're already playing. You're already working with a shadow. You're already working with a memory of shadows. You're working with not reality. You're already removed. So So people thinking, if they read a certain passage, thinking this is how I got to treat my wife, it's just like you're just reading about how someone treated their wife back then. The point is, you have to be the head for real. It's not about this or that thing you did. You know what I mean?
Right,
you're just reading stories.
Right. The word of God is written on our hearts, but we can't find our hearts until we learn to forgive, right?
Interesting stuff, man.
And so the reason I bring this up is because you guys are talking about Christianity and like what is like, so to you, Nick, what does it mean to be Christian?
To let go, to forgive, and live a life of real stillness. It's not about it's about what you let go. It's about what you could do without. And then on the other side of that is real understanding and real life. And it's also, it's just kind of what I'm describing it as. It's also a desire. It's just a real life of not going down but going up. You know what I mean? Like turning away from and towards God. If I could keep it simple.
Why is it so hard to answer?
I don't know. It might be difficult for some. I wouldn't say that I had difficulty in answering it. But I think the difficulty I wouldn't say I had difficulty in answering it just then, but in general, I think the difficulty comes from, people don't really understand what it is, and so they have a doubt as to whether they are or not.
Right. I called Jesse's show up once and I asked him, like, what does it mean to him to be a Christian? And he said nothing. I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, to be Christian, I mean, you can give it any sort of, like, analysis, but ultimately it just means to be living in the truth.
Interesting, man. Well, thank you for that,
anyway,
Scott.
my 2 cents.
Appreciate that, man. Interesting stuff.
Much love as always.
Big time, man. Always a pleasure. Call me again.
Yep.
Moving the wheels, sir. All right, take care. Nice. Nice to have different topics there. Very cool. I know many of you were trying to call in there. You can call in 760-515-3855. Your numbers aren't blocked. It's just I can only take one call at a time. I'm limited here. I don't have multiple lines like the JLP show.
Call from
Troy.
I believe I have Troy, Los Angeles, on the air.
Hey, yo, what's up,
Hey.
Nick? How you doing, man?
All well, Troy. No complaints here. We're
Look.
just flying the plane.
Look.
Doing our thing.
Look, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I would hope that these people calling in saying all this random stuff would just, Google exists. You can look this stuff up. It's not a secret. Okay, like I mean, just to start, I got to just address this one thing from the last caller. The Bible was not commissioned by the Emperor of Rome. I don't know who he got it wrong. The Bible he's talking about that was commissioned by King James in the 1600s. And that was way after the Bible canon was put together by the Catholic Church. I think in I should get this right, but I think it's like 400 AD or like 380 AD or something, where they put together the Bible canon. But I'm sorry, a lot of these Protestant, the Bible canon was agreed upon and put together by, I think, the Council of Carthage and the Catholic Church. And then the Bible, we all know, right? Everyone who was a baby Christian is King James. Do you read King James?
Yeah.
I got to read the King James, right? We all know about the King James Bible, which the King James Bible was commissioned by the first King James of England in 1611. But the Protestant King James Bible didn't just fall from the sky in the 1600s. These were church traditions that the original 12 apostles maintained through the first church. Then they wrote down and they gathered all the documents and they put them into a book. And the difference is in 400 AD, there was no printing press. If they wanted to make a Bible, you have to copy it word for word by hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I think when the King James Bible happened, the reason it's the most ubiquitous Bible and the earliest Bible is because it was mass produced on printing presses. But this idea that it was, we can't trust any Bible and there's no way to know about Christianity, it's nonsense in my opinion. There is a way to know about Christianity. The answer to that question is very simple. It's to love, it's to forgive. And once you, like you said, once you can see clearly and you're living in the right way, right, you understand yourself, you'll be able to see the world for what it is. And the Bible and the teachings that Christianity put forth through the teachings of Christ are very clear and easy. And that's what it means to be a Christian. It's to first learn about yourself so you can see the world with the right eyes. And then once you can see it, you can live real Christian values the way Christ taught us. And that is the way we're supposed to live. A prime example is when I was of the world, before my eyes were truly open, I might think giving $1 or a sandwich to a homeless person is a good thing. But maybe letting that homeless person understand that he can come out of that I don't need to give him $1 is the true love, is the true help, is the true charity. But we don't see this because our eyes are closed, our world is inverted until we learn to first submit to this idea of God. And who cares what God's name is? We know what the concept of God is, which is why we use the term God. And I guess the only other thing is, it's very interesting to me, as when we look at new Christians or old Christians, it's like first problem people have is they don't want to submit to God, right? Because it's something larger than themselves. It's an authority. Then once they submit to the idea of God on a philosophical or Gnostic level, oh, but I have to have some special idea about it. I have to have some special secret knowledge. People have been answering these questions for thousands of years. We're not going to get some special perspective on YouTube or you know what I mean? And then once we submit to this higher authority concept of God, then
God
we want to get,
I found God on the YouTube sidebar.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, like,
I know you're
God
getting that. I know you're getting that. Continue.
Yeah, and it's like we struggle. Like when I was, living in sin, I struggled with submitting to the authority, the concept of authority that was God, because I had anger. I hated Jesse talks about it. You can't have love or a relationship with your heavenly Father if you hate your earthly father. Jesse's message is valuable because it teaches you first submission. How does Jesse teach us about true forgiveness? It's not to go and say, oh, please, Mom, forgive me, or for how much I've hated you. It's I'm letting go of my resentment so that God can forgive me. It's all an inversion because we're taught, oh, I said mean thing to Nick, so I need to go apologize to Nick so Nick can absolve me of mean thing. No, that's not how it works. You go and you say, hey, I had a bunch of resentment towards you, which is why I said mean things, and I got to let go of that, and so I'm doing that. You can accept it or not. And then God will forgive us, right? But
absolutely, yeah.
It's so interesting to me.
Because it's got to be real, yeah.
Exactly. Otherwise we're just on that up-down. And that's that up-down, right? We could do the old way, and I'm feeling down, so I say mean thing. I'm feeling more down, so I say nice thing. You accept, so I feel good thing, and now everything's okay, right? But this is that. I apologize for that sound. That was a random car.
No problem.
This is that idea that we get where, like, oh, we can all be a God. Maybe we can all be a God. No, we need to submit to something higher. The concept of God is the first challenge to us as man with free thought and free will. Then a lot of people struggle with, okay, maybe I believe in God, but the teachings of God in the Old or New Testament, right? We get stuck in the authority of the biblical text, and then we dive into the Gnosticism of the biblical text, and oh, this king and Charlemagne, all of that. Again, it's the same thing as not submitting to the concept of God philosophically first. Then we get stuck in the writings of the Bible and the teachings that were put forth from this creator and, the Messiah in Christ. Then we struggle through that. And if we submit through that, we might actually find real answers from people who have gotten them for thousands of years. And then you submit to something higher. The reason we can operate in this physical world and know what to do and what not to do as a body of Christians, which is necessary. We were talking about it earlier with immigration or all these things. If we're going to affect the world in a positive way as Christians, it cannot be as individuals. We need to be right as individuals before we come together as a body, or you'll see what happens in certain churches. Look at the thousands of denominations of Protestant churches that everyone starts disagreeing. It's because there isn't one central authority. Just like when an individual has no central authority, i.e. no God belief, they go off the rails. Just like these bodies of Christ in Protestant churches inevitably go off the rails, go at each other, and they're reading the same book. So this idea that you can interpret the Bible to mean anything you want is not true. It's the satanic idea that you have some interpretive power when you don't. If you don't know what a Bible verse means, you should submit to the church fathers and authorities who for thousands of years have debated it, discussed it, and come up with answers, and you can work in your answer with those answers if it fits. But everyone wants to be an authority on these matters, but it's so clear that the main message over everything is to submit to something higher than yourself so that you can actually learn, so you can be capable of getting new information that is accurate. If you want to live all those other ways, fine, but understand the information you're going to get back, your feedback from whatever you want to call it, it's not going to be accurate, in my opinion. So I feel like you have to submit on a personal level. You have to submit to the word on this, like that's where that live in the world but not of the world kind of level is. And then you should submit to the church. One of the two apostolic churches that, unfortunately we had the schism, but like there are church documents. These people, the apostles did practice the faith a very specific way right after Christ's death. And this idea that we don't know how to do it and everyone has their own interpretation is wrong. It's just wrong. I
Well,
hate to say it, but I'm
I
in a black
understand.
and white world now, and it's wrong.
You know,
And I wish them all well. I hope they hear this and maybe go on that next step. But like, you know, someone has to. I
do you
have to.
think
I had
you
to
can
call
have
in to say it.
understanding for yourself?
Do I think I can have understanding for
Right,
myself?
without needing to submit to authority of church or whatever, of anyone?
I don't think that anyone can have authority for themselves. If they do go that
Understanding,
route, to me,
understanding.
that's relativism. If I had understanding for myself based on my
No, but it's not like
my
a
own
my truth
purview
kind
and-
of thing. It's not like a nebulous my truth. People have different truths kind
Okay.
of thing. There's definitely only one truth. But I'm saying
Maybe I
do you
don't
think-
understand the question.
there's definitely only one truth. It's not about interpreting things differently. I mean, I'm definitely with you on that. But do you think you can know that one truth without any authority above you? And
I
you
think
just have
that every
understanding?
single one of us, now I understand your question. I think that every single one of us, from a person born and raised in the biggest city in the world to a person born in a jungle with no contact from the outside world, I think every single person knows what you're talking about deep internally. And because of that, based on the decisions we choose to make downstream from that, will cause turmoil or harmony within ourselves.
Totally.
I think.
Yeah. makes
Because I
sense to
think
me.
a blind, deaf, stupid man who's never seen the Bible knows all the same things that are written in there because it's written on the heart. There's a reason why we all know murder is wrong, even an atheist, right? And it's not because the Bible said thou shalt not kill. God created us in this way. And people who want to go with this Gnostic kind of relative idea that they could look up the answers better than the answers that have been laid before us, it's like, you know, that's a very dangerous place to be because we don't just know that murder's bad or theft and stealing is bad. We don't just, we don't just all collectively agree that that's bad. It's written on our hearts. It's part of what makes us human, right? A bear will eat its cub if it's hungry. A mother will not. A human mother won't eat their baby because they're hungry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instinctually. They'll instinctually turn the other way because we're made in God's image. We're made with something unique that sets us apart from animals, that sets us apart from plants. And I think that, we all know it. It's just, do you listen to it? Do you reject that light? Do you drown it out with darkness? Do you listen to do you listen to that gut, or do you listen to that voice in your head, which we all know what the voice in our head is?
So true, man. Fascinating.
I don't want to ramble on and on,
man,
but
thank you for
the
that. I
Bible thing
appreciate the
really
calls.
tripped me up because, like, you guys, if you're out there and you're listening and you're a Protestant, whether you're a Protestant, a Catholic, an Orthodox Christian, whatever, I have to say this: the King James Bible did not fall out of the sky like manna from heaven in the 1600s. That's just not what happened. In fact, there are 7 books missing from that Bible that were in the original biblical canon that the Catholic Church, which was the original church after Christ's resurrection, they put it in there. And I would encourage everyone, if you're into reading the Bible, get a Catholic Bible too and read it. I know everyone wants to hate on the Catholics, and that's fine. I get it. Like, I'm not here to convert anyone. But what I will say is this: the biblical canon was put together, I think, less than 400 years after Christ's death. And they were practicing and writing these things 33 AD when Paul started writing, other people started writing. So just do your history. There's so much historicity around the Bible. For Frederick, there's tons of historicity on the Bible. Even atheist biblical scholars that study the New Testament know that Jesus Christ existed and was a real person. They might disagree on his divinity.
I was mind blown when I realized that the same standard and level of proof for so many different figures we talk about, like Marcus Aurelius or this or that emperor or whatever.
Alexander the Great. There's not a writing about him for 400 years.
Right. There's
after his death.
What evidence? The evidence we have of these people's existence is writings. So it's the same standard of evidence for Jesus. And you know
Jesus,
what I mean?
There's writings about Jesus Christ, right? There's writings about him 30 years, I think, after his death, and maybe even sooner, like 7 years, but I could be wrong. And as a caller, I should say, I don't know the exact year because I haven't looked it up, and I came in hot like that, so I don't want to be stepping on my own thing, right?
No problem,
but
man.
I will say Alexander the Great, and I know this for a fact, Alexander the Great, the soonest writing after his death was 400 years later, and there's not nearly as many as there are about Christ.
See,
we have a load of evidence, historical evidence about the New Testament, and I think it would, for people who are into their, like to look into history and biblical stuff, eschatology, that's the key word, guys. Look up the eschatology of different churches or different religions and look up the historicity of these texts, because there are historical facts in the New Testament. You know, the Gospels, the 4 Gospels, they're very archaeologically sound. Even atheist scholars who study them accept that they're real. Like Paul's epistles are not disputed by atheist scholars. They're just not. So I would encourage people to read that stuff. I would encourage people to look at what Christ called on the 12 apostles to do after his death and what they did. You know, for someone to say, you know, when Jesus Christ resurrected and appeared to 500 people at the same time, that's not mass schizophrenia. That doesn't happen. These are real things that atheist scholars that study the New Testament agree on. So I would encourage people to look into that. And remember, the King James Bible, it's great. The New King James, all these Bibles are great. It's always good to dig into the Word. But the truth is, the Bible didn't just fall from the sky. It was put together by people who painstakingly practiced the faith right after Christ died and resurrected. So that's my 2 cents. Rant ended. I apologize.
Don't apologize, sir.
On,
I appreciate your call, man.
Always. I appreciate your show, and I hope that you get a safe landing. Shout out to all the first-class passengers.
And thank you.
Quaker O's.
Quaker
O's were the greatest. Quaker O's were the greatest cereal ever made.
Quaker O's,
anyway,
okay.
Very
S-class,
unknown.
S-tier cereal.
Yeah, S-tier cereal.
Very cool.
All right, brother. Have a blessed day.
Man,
enjoy your weekend. Blessings out to all the chat, too. You guys are great. Have a lovely, lovely weekend.
Thank you, sir. Call me again. Right on. You know, it's like, I appreciate the calls on this topic. Very interesting. You know, very cool stuff. No, personally, this is kind of why I even wonder about a question, the topic of God's name and all that. Because, and this is why I was asking, well, if Jesus is a God, what does that make us? Because my whole thing is like, how can I come to a deeper understanding about Jesus's like spirit, the spirit that worked through Jesus, so that I may truly, totally know for a fact without any doubt that it's inside of me and that it's working through me. That's what I care about. And what does that mean? That means the spirit of Jesus that was in Jesus working through me. That means being his brother, not he's a God and he's far away from me, but that I may have the very same spirit that's working through him, and to take away all those layers of identity between me and that truth. And I think the name of God, for example, is one of those layers in between me and that, in between me and knowing that the spirit in Jesus working through him is working through me, and that same power, etc. Anything other than that is a distraction, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I got callers coming in. I'll wait for you guys to come in. Sorry I didn't get to you all. Like 3-4 of you trying to get through. 760-515-3855. We're starting our descent here, y'all. So, get your calls in, whatever you got to do. We're, in fact, beginning our descent here. Kick back, relax. Appreciate you tuning in to Nick Stream.
Call from
Hey caller, I got you on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. I'm hijacking the Nick stream. I'm going to convert you to Christianity. I'm next in line.
That's Steve Struck on the air, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir, for your call. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. So I have a question. I want you kind of get your thoughts on this.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
a guy running for local office in my area.
Okay.
And I was talking to him over the weekend, and we got on the topic of abortion. And so, I was saying some stuff. The other guys around me were saying some stuff. And he said, I don't agree with just banning stuff outright. And I was like, what do you mean? Tell me more about that. He said, I believe in incrementalism. And I'm like, that's interesting. So he said, let me just, preface this first. He said, I'm against sex out of wedlock. He's like, if it was up to me, he's like, I'd ban sex out of wedlock. I'd make it illegal and, try and use it as a deterrent to stop people ultimately from, committing, doing abortion. But he said, you can't legislate something like that, then enforce it if you don't have the people to carry it out.
Right.
So I've been thinking about how people have been getting on Trump this week. I think he did a show about it. I don't remember. But they were getting on Trump about the abortion issue.
Yes.
The terms and all this other stuff. And it's making me realize, think about you. I know for me, God didn't take everything away from me right then and there. It's been a process. The change of the heart kind of happened instantly, but the vices happened over time.
Right.
So I think about how everyone's like, we got to get in office, executive orders tomorrow, everything's banned.
Yeah.
We got to do this and that. But will that actually help the people who are really stuck? So, I called because Troy made a great point about the church being the authority and all that. I think if you were to go the route of slowly changing the laws, but then you had some type of governing body or authority spiritually, I'm not talking, governmentally or in the state, and then, spiritually to guide people properly in the communities to say, hey, where are you at? Just get the churches to get a little bit stronger to guide people to say, hey, in 90 days, this ban's going into effect. So you got 90 days for this to happen. And then 90 days after that, you've got, the next wave of that's coming. So I kind of want to ask, what do you think about the incremental approach to changing laws rather than, just brute forcing them and just, we're getting rid of everything tomorrow?
Totally. Well, I mean, I ultimately, I don't know the strategy or whatever, and it's hard to know. So I think that's why any sort of, we got to ban executive order tomorrow and fix everything and fix people's hearts by executive order. It just seems like a folly, just from the get go. It doesn't seem like it'll work, right? It's got to be in reality.
I agree.
What you're banning and stuff has to be within. It has to be in reality. It has to do with things of the nation, of the world. Not trying to save people's hearts. You know what I mean? Because, like you were even saying, God isn't out here trying to do that with you. But there is, the rules of de jour or of the society or God's rules. There still exist. So, all this rambling to say, I don't really know, but incrementalism, I just don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a bad thing. You're setting the standards for society, but yet you have the wisdom to not be imposing an order that doesn't make sense in the hearts of the people currently today.
I'm seeing what you're saying with it. Yeah. So it's like dealing with people. You've said it tonight about, you got to learn how to deal with people. And the whole thing of, I'm not going to hang out with these people. I'm not going to do this. Listen, you don't have to be best friends and go get dinner tomorrow night. But if you're working with people, you get into politics, you get involved on a local level, you still have to at least listen to people and know how to do things properly. Even at my job, some of the guys that I manage, I'm not going to put their business out there, but when I separated out, what they're into, what they're about, the things that, they are pretty open about, and see their work ethic, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second. They're actually doing the job, they're doing this and everything else. And then I look at local politics. If you get into local politics, you're not going to be working with everybody who's conservative. You're going to be working with people who are, pretty steeped in darkness. Doesn't mean that because they're that spiritually gone, you can't work with them and guide them and do all the right things, depending on where you're at. And that's why I think when you let your actions shine through, And when you let your values shine through your actions rather than just being this whole, we got to change this, I got to change the hearts of the individuals, you know, abortion's bad, and just become not even like a Bible thumper, but like a moral thumper. People just tune out and they're like, I'm not going to listen or take direction from you. You know what I mean?
Totally. I was thinking about this the other day too. Let's say we get, because people were criticizing Trump's comments on abortion, Ron DeSantis putting this like ban on abortion. He's saying it was a terrible thing. And, you know, it's like, let's say you get your guy that's like totally against abortion. You get him in the office. We got our guy and he's going to ban it day one. You still haven't changed anything. The people are still retarded. So,
yo, let's go.
You know, so, you know, like, I like to go, in this case, go back to these kind of like, I feel like people just cringe at this nowadays, which is kind of a shame, kind of emblematic of where we are today, but just original, basic American civics, basic things. The states govern themselves. Yes, it's gotten, the difference between people has gotten so crazy. You can have a state that's all abortion and a state that's not. That being said, that's the original intent. And you got to work with what you got. And so it makes sense to me to have like an example, a Christian example to point to, and at least things are going directionally going somewhere. But you have to have the wisdom and maturity to understand, well, it's not just a law or a tax policy or whatever the reason why people are like this, or it's not just because the Supreme Court or a certain law why people are out here killing babies. You know what I mean? Like that's not, they're not doing that because of a law. Right, it's the irresponsibility and darkness of their hearts. So,
right, a practical example from this guy that's running in my area. You know, he's pretty open about his Christian values on his social media and stuff. But when I was talking to him, I was like, so how are you putting, you know, these values into, you know, your policies and everything else? And he said, like I said, he talks about the incrementalism stuff, but something simple like the battle between bicyclists and drivers. You know, it happens in every major city where, and even suburbs too, where the liberals support the bikes, and anybody that goes against the bikes, you know, you're a horrible capitalist,
share
and
the road.
You don't care about the future. Yeah, like share the road and all this other stuff. But you have to work with people on that. And what he's doing is not just going after the bicyclists and saying, you should do this, this, and that, and everything else why you're bad. He's actually like trying to foster conversations, and he has, you know, a really good approach to saying, like, why are you like this? You know, kind of pointing people back inwards. And I was, you know, listening to him talk. I'm like, I think that's how, if a Christian gets in office at the local level, it should be done that way. It shouldn't just be, oh, we're banning gay marriage. That's it. This area is, you know, no illegals here, which, again, I agree with that. But you still then have to open up the discussion and say, all right, how are we making things work? And if you don't like how they work, why don't you like how they work? Why don't you actually have an open forum discussion to get people to see what you're doing rather than just being a straight up tyrant, which is what people fought against anyway. You know what I mean?
Interesting, man. I think you're right. I mean, I see a Christian leader as just right in all situations. I think at the same time, the Christian leader you're describing here can also be tough on, I don't know, things that are just pure criminal, like the southern border or courts being against the men. You know what I mean? Those are things that is just wrong. You see what I'm saying? And
I agree.
A strong hand is needed there, then so be it. If I'm making sense.
No, it is. I think that where I think a lot of people, including myself, where I got tripped up, you know, thinking about how to do things on a local level, because I'm always thinking of the federal policies that would need to happen to make, you know, sweeping types of changes. And the more I look into, you know, the area I'm in now, there was one Republican mayor. It was the only one in the area for pretty much the history of the city. And I looked at his policies and I'm like, wow, even though he wasn't a full Christian, but he said he had faith in all this other stuff. And I saw how that worked through his policies, like cutting down the amount of spending on government workers. And then his whole thing was, how do you tackle that? You know, it's not just, oh, we're cutting back on the amount of spending from a municipal level. It's, how are we going to actually work with these people who have unions, who've banded together, who've had this way of life, and they've worked under these pretenses? Now, how do I get them to switch over to see how I'm doing things? And his approach was really interesting. It was something with like vouchers and kind of kind of giving them the money back, but not. I still don't fully understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But I see like that's how you go at these things. You look at things, and then you just kind of you and I have the same ability, like you said before, to have this understanding of any situation at any time. You know, so we should be able to look at something regardless of the complexity of it and see the simplicity of it and then know what to do, instead of just taking the words of the Bible, throwing it at everybody, and it's like, but you still can't manage anybody.
Exactly. So imagine someone like that leading the stuff. That's what I imagine a Christian leader.
Right, which is why I still really support Trump, because
he works with people
scripture everywhere. Yeah,
he works with people, big time, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, I hope all the elections over in your area go well. There's that's an ignored thing, but it's all about local stuff, right? If we really care, we're really about it, we would work. We would see what's possible to do right where we are.
Right. Yeah, and in my advice, because I always thought I had to start big, and that's been one of the biggest things that why I've fallen in getting involved, in my areas, because I think I got to run for this office, I got to do this. Honestly, I've had more revelations and success by just joining some stuff around the area, just sitting back, watching, listening, having some conversations, and starting small, and seeing like, wow, there's a lot somebody needs, especially for me, that I would need to learn to go into doing this. And how to manage it effectively, and there are people that are doing it. So I just think it's just they're not getting the press, or they're not in the news as much as everybody else is. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But they're out there.
It's not the sensational
doing it,
stuff. He's not the guy that'll be able to do an executive order tomorrow and fix everything and save the world.
Right.
Yep. Steve, man, pleasure as always. Moving the wheels. Last thing you want to say here?
No, that's it, man. Keep it going.
Man, call me again.
Thanks.
Take care, Steve. Steve Strzok. That's Steve Strzok, I believe. Distraction on Rumble. DISTRACQTION. He's got a Rumble show, I believe, on Saturdays. I caught it once. It's pretty good. All right, y'all. We're getting ready for our descent. We are already descending. We're getting prepared here for our landing in Seattle International Airport, y'all. Hope you've been enjoying the show so far. Just kick back and relax. We'll do more calls, do more show. We got to get everything in order for this landing, though. Hold on. Thanks for the patience, y'all. Should be landing in Seattle, Washington. What should we do, y'all? Had some great calls today. Got into some stuff here. Great conversations. I'm kind of vibing right now. I don't really have much to say. We gotta land this plane though. Saturday morning here, Nick. I sat down to watch, but you're really bumming me out. What do you mean, Mena? Mena. Welcome. It's always a pleasure. We're down to 10,000 feet, y'all. We're getting close. Hope you're chilling. Hope you're enjoying it. We're gonna do VR again, y'all. I promise. I wanted maybe this Saturday, but I'm thinking next Saturday we're gonna do an all-day stream. We're gonna do VR. We're gonna be gaming. We're gonna be talking. It's gonna be chill, fun Saturday vibes. Okay. Hopefully next Saturday. We'll see if we could do it. Whoa! What the heck was that? We gotta get there. We gotta get there. Okay. We're redoing our penultimate bank here into the airport. So we gotta get down to our next altitude restriction. Getting down to 7,000 feet here. Beautiful day. Gavin Newsom has a based son. Some stuff with Joe Jonas. Some mess with Zelensky. I mean, there's things we could talk about, present, but we're kind of chilling right now. We'll be landing shortly. I mean, we've had ourselves a nice little vibe. Nice little show today. Let's keep enjoying it. Gavin Newsom's not happy about his son. You know, I was talking about Elon Musk. He keeps pumping out sons. I wonder if they'll grow up and be based like Elon Musk. He's got that son X. He met with the president of Turkey, Erdogan. And Elon Musk was there with his son. Erdogan's like, "Where's your wife? Where's your wife?" Wondering, where the heck is your wife? And he's like, she's in San Francisco. By the way, we're separated. The East meets West, right?
You'll get friendly. Please. Is your wife?
But Gavin Newsom, on the other hand, is married to Jennifer Sable Newsom. He's in a married home. Now, unlike this degenerate African Elon Musk, who seems to be okay with being a deadbeat dad. Obviously, that's a joke. Gavin Newsom, however, is married. He is married, and he's got a rebellious teen, and he's making some comments about it. He's got a rebellious teen, and who's starting to talk in a concerning way. Poor Gavin Newsom. Poor Gavin Newsom's son found himself in the radical YouTube pipeline into radicalism. Poor Gavin Newsom. His poor son is dealing with misinformation. Have you talked to your kids about AI? I had a very serious conversation with my oldest daughter about chatbots on Snap. Separately, I really worry about the disinformation about what's happening with our country. But I really worry about these micro cults that my kids are in. I say micro cults because I don't know if there's a better way to describe it. My son is asking me about Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, and then immediately he's talking about Joe Rogan. And I'm like, here it is, the pathway. Gavin Newsom's sons are his son is based. Oh, man. He's getting radicalized by the internet. Is he watching any other Petersons? Huh? Any other Petersons? Watching Joe Rogan. Getting radicalized. Joe Rogan, obviously, to us is a little bit like, whatever. He's based sometimes, right? Poor Gavin. Getting wrecked. Getting wrecked by his own son. Getting wrecked by his own son. Is he really getting memed on? Is he really getting memed on by his own son? Based son. You gotta love it. You love to see it. Test. Hello. Is my mic working? Okay. Joe Rogan, king of the normies. But better a Roganite son than a little Newsomite. had a very serious conversation. Is there a clip of this? Is there a clip of this, of him saying this? But Gavin Newsom's such a Chad too. He's such a tall Chad person with a beautiful blonde wife, and there he is. 2 sons, 2 daughters, just like Erdogan. I mean, what's this? I mean, don't be surprised, Gavin. A Chad like you gonna raise little Chads who are into the truth, not into the okey doke. Asking you about Andrew Tate, and he says, here it is. He's quoted as saying, and I'm like, here it is, the pathway. Here it is, folks. The radicalization pathway. The YouTube pipeline. They call it a pipeline. How to radicalize a normie.
Say for the sake of argument, your friend Gabe is starting to worry you. Gabe's always been just, a regular guy, not very political. He likes video games, sci-fi, comics, Star Wars, and anime. White guy shit. The only offbeat thing about him is you suspect there's a 20% chance he's a furry. For all intents and purposes, Gabe is a normie. But recently, Gabe's been spending a lot of time on some radically conservative forums and listening.
Gabe, imagine this is Gavin Newsom's son. Your friend Gabe is Gavin Newsom's son, and he's on the conservative forums.
But recently, Gabe's been spending a lot of time on some radically conservative forums and listening to radically conservative podcasts.
Oh, dang, we got the crypto report. That's so funny. I don't know if the person who made this video is a liberal normie person deriding all this talk, but Gabe, in this scenario, this hypothetical scenario, is listening to radical podcasts. Look at the one they chose, the crypto report. Shout out to Asmodor and the crypto report.
And time on some radically conservative forums and listening to radically conservative podcasts and picking some radically conservative arguments with you and your friends. You never would have expected this, not from Gabe. And given the speed it's happened, it's worrying to think where it might be headed.
You were so worried. How about let Gabe just be Gabe and you just worry about yourself, mama?
How have the alt-right gotten their hooks into your friend?
Their hooks.
If you've ever...
They call it hooks. Have you noticed nobody wakes up to the left. Nobody gets radicalized. Nobody wakes up and has a change of heart. It's always to the right. It's always to the right. You wake up. Nobody wakes up and gets red-pilled to being a Democrat. Let's be real.
For Nona Gabe, this video's for you. Here's how to radicalize a normie. Step 1, identify the audience. What you need to know before we begin is around 2013, the Nazis went online.
Ooh,
hate groups
scary.
In the U.S., as tracked by the Southern Poverty Law Center, had been growing.
This guy's using SPLC stats. This guy's an absolute normie. This guy's talking about himself.
In number since the Knots, but between 2012 and 2014, they dropped by almost a quarter. Patriot groups dropped by over a third. However, hate crimes stayed about the same. Radical conservatism was not shrinking, but decentralizing.
Okay, he's not wrong about that. I mean, that is true. You censor them. What happened here? You censored them. They went off. They went off into their own spaces, created their own spaces where they couldn't be censored anymore. So they're not wrong about this. But he's saying as if they deserve to be there.
Still radical and still often violent, but now full of white nationalism.
And now they're often violent. Yeah. Look at the picture he chose. Bloody white guy yelling. As if this is anywhere near reality. When it's only recently that these protests and the Proud Boys have become clashes and gone somewhat violent. But you got to understand, that's after years of these guys, Proud Boys, white guys, Republicans, Trump supporters being the measured people and okay, but we got to look right and optics and all that. Okay. Which is why what Jesse Lee Peterson says is so important. You got to overcome anger because we're walking into a trap. You're going to be out here and then you're going to be the white guy yelling with some blood on him. And you're going to get Gabe making some normie video and using your image as some sort of proof to some sort of white supremacist violence at large. Come on, let's be real.
nationalist nomads unlikely to join a formal organization. This didn't make them harmless. What it did was protect their asses from the typical hate group cycle of getting the public's attention, making allies in conservative media, swelling their numbers, and then eventually disgracing.
Wow, look. Yo.
Protect their asses from the typical hate group cycle of getting the public's attention, making allies in conservative media, swelling their numbers, and then eventually disgracing themselves with failures in fighting and, often enough, members committing horrific acts of violence, which come with social and sometimes legal consequences for all the other members.
It's funny because everything he's saying about radicalizing a normie, you could do this for Black Lives Matter, you could do this for anything. You could do this for anything. And in the 2 minutes that we've watched this video, maybe it's too early for me to say, but I doubt there's no real understanding so far, at least. All right, y'all. We are definitely super close to landing, I believe. So hold on, y'all. Hold on.
So, I typed a text to a girl I used to see, saying that I chose this cutie pie with whom I want to be. And I apologize if this message gets you down. Then I CC'd every girl that I'd CC round town. And hate to see y'all frown, but I'd rather see her smiling. Wetness all around me, true, but I'm no island peninsula.
Sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened there with all my audio. I believe people are trying to call in. I'm taking calls from the ladies. I don't want to not hear from you, Karen. Don't say that. We're just changing gears here because we're getting focused on the landing here, which we're very close. So I'm going to have to turn off the phones here as we get ready for this landing. Sorry, y'all. Thank you.
So, I typed a text to a girl I used to see, saying that I chose this cutie pie with whom I want to be. And I apologize if this message gets you down. Then I CC'd every girl that I'd CC round town. And hate to see y'all frown, but I'd rather see her smiling. Wetness all around me, true, but I'm no island peninsula, maybe. Makes no sense, I know crazy. Give up all this pussy cat that's in my lap, no looking back. Spaceships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors, they dip as quick as they can. The atmosphere is now ripped. I'm so like a pimp. I'm glad it's night. So the light from the sun would not burn me on my bum when I shoot the moon. High jump the broom.
Yes, y'all will be taking our final bank here into Seattle International.
Reconsider, read some litter. Sure on the subject. You sure? Fuck it. You know we got your back like chiropractic. If that bitch do you dirty, we'll wipe her ass out as in detergent. Now hurry, go on to the altar. I know you ain't a pimp, but pimp, remember what I taught you. Keep your heart, 3 stacks. Keep your heart, hey, keep your heart, 3 stacks. Keep your heart. Man, these girls are smart, 3 stacks. These girls are smart. Play your part. Play your part.
Yeah, y'all. Hope you've been enjoying the show so far. What else? I mean, we ran through everything. Don't really got the time to do a topic. Just kick back and get your Friday going. We'll be back, obviously, Sunday for church and all that.
I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, return head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary.
Soul Plane.
You a fairy.
Girl. Nick Black now? You didn't know that already? You didn't know I was black? With the team. What I mean. World. Wanna be my girl. Seattle, Washington, folks. Hillary T, thank you for the super chat there. Thank you.
We rockin' Russian sable, keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million Mac, they need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life, watch your daddy get rich. Easy as
Oh yeah.
Simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with
UGK.
Pimp CBU with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp? And what's a pimp with no hoes? Don't be a lame, you know the game and how it goes. We try to get chose.
The mountainous area of Washington, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching.
Many decisions with precision. I pick or make my selection on who I choose to be with. Girl, don't touch my protection. I know you want it to slip, but slipping is something I don't do.
I think we have like 8 more minutes.
That's like making it rain every month on schedule. Let me tell you, get your parasol umbrella, cause it's gonna get wetter. Better prepare you for the 𝒐𝒐. She's supposed to spend it on that baby, but we see she don't.
As Paul McCartney, the lawyers couldn't stop this. Slaughter of them pockets had to tie to a rocket.
Send her into outer space, I know he wish he could, cause he paying $20K a day, that bitch is eating good. Like an infant on a double D titty, just getting drunk.
Anonymous with the super chat, thank you. First class is yours.
In the gut, raw from the giddy up. Better choose the right one or pick the kitties up.
What mountain is that out in the distance? Anybody know? What mountain is that? Washington Mountains. What is this? Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier? Is this Mount Rainier you see in the distance? Anybody know? If you guys are trying to call in. Call in 760-515-3855. Call in. Call in the last few minutes here. Call in. You're not on hold. Try again.
Call from.
Caller, you're on the air. Your name and where you calling from. Oh no, what happened there? What the?
Everywhere he goes. Oh, I
Call from
Mighty Bottle.
Marty, I have you on the air. Are you there?
Hi, Dick.
What's up, Marty? How you been?
Fine. How are you?
All is well. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. How's you and your family?
I know you want to hear my voice.
Uh-huh. How's life been, Marty?
Okay. I'm okay. I have a MRI tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll keep you guys updated next week.
Is this the first update we've heard since last we talked?
Yeah, because I've been at physical therapy, and then I've been working, and then taking care of my kid.
Right on. How's the physical therapy going?
It's going good, but I still can't lift my arm.
Okay, so you still can't lift the arm, huh? Has the
Yeah,
physical
yeah.
therapy helped at all?
It did. It helps out a little bit.
So you
But
had to
then
like relearn how to.
I only have 6 they only give me 6 sessions, so.
So you had to relearn how to use different parts of your body and all that.
Right. Yeah.
Jeez. And so they only doing an MRI now? No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Yeah. It took them forever in a lifetime. So yeah.
These things take forever, huh?
Say that. Mhm.
Especially with like, I imagine the system being bogged down or whatever, not working as efficiently as you might imagine.
Right.
What a mess. But I'm glad to hear that you're okay and you're doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing. I just wanted you to know I'm still breathing and I'm still here, because I've been trying to send you guys some super chats, but then they changed it, right?
It's yeah, I know sometimes it changes. We don't mean to make it difficult, but you could always find. You're trying to super chat the Jesse Lee Peterson show,
and you. Well, I can get you now.
Yeah, you could definitely get me here on YouTube, but that's Buy Me a Coffee. You got to go to buymeacoffee.com/JLPtalk.
What's that?
It's like another way of super chatting, because the old ones banned us.
Well, how come YouTube won't let us send you any super chat?
Well, they demonetized JLP, and they demonetized the Fallen State now, so they got all 3 channels. So we're dealing with that.
Oh, so they're just being a-holes right now.
Pretty much. I mean, it was hateful content and stuff like that. That's their claims.
Oh my!
I know
God.
Jesse Lee Peterson hateful content. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
I want
You're
the
just haters.
proof. I want the proof.
Because I was sending you guys a lot of super chats. So
I always see your
apparently
support there.
they're
Thank
just
you.
being a lot of a-holes.
Mhm.
Well, since you're on Fridays, I think I just get you more.
Thank
If
you,
that's
Marty.
okay
I
with
see
you.
you every now and again, though. I see you in the chats and all that.
Yeah,
Say hi
I'll
to
pop
Crazy
in
Mother
every
Dance for me.
Okay, she says hi too.
Nice. I haven't heard from her in a while either.
She says hi. I see you. She says
Hey.
hello.
I haven't heard from you in a while. Nice to hear from you.
So right now I'm gonna be going through MRI tomorrow. I took my kid out of school, so she's doing online classes. So she's in 10th grade, so she's got 2 more years to go.
And she's in what? She's in what?
10th grade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and husband and I are doing great, so we're
Oh,
good.
good. I'm glad to hear
And
it.
his birthday's coming up pretty soon, and then my sister's birthday's coming up.
Well, happy birthday,
every-
an early one to the family and everybody.
So everything's going good. We're good. So I just want to let you know I'm okay.
I'm glad. I was wondering about you.
Yeah, when I see you on Fridays, I just pop in and out because I have to, I have to go to work. And
Totally. I
I
hear
have
you.
to keep an eye. I have to keep an eye on my kids. So
Understood.
yeah,
It's
so
no problem,
I'm
Marty.
glad. So I'm glad you guys are okay. I'm glad you guys are doing good. So I love you guys and I miss you.
Same here, Marty. Call me again.
Yeah, I will. I try. What's the next time you're gonna come on again?
Monday at noon.
Can't do that. How
Yeah.
about Wednesday?
Noon.
Wednesday. So you're gonna be doing on noon on Wednesday?
Yeah, Monday through Thursday. Then on Fridays I do the flight at around this time.
I think I'm gonna try to do you on Wednesday. Okay.
All right, Marty. I'll hear from you then.
All right. You take care. You guys have a good night, and
Take care.
I miss you guys.
Big time, Marty. Take care.
All right. You too.
Dang, y'all. It's about that time again. It's landing time. I do see the runway out here in the distance. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you've been enjoying the show. It's always a pleasure to have you all on board. We hope that we've made your trip comfortable and as luxurious of an experience as possible. Luxury. That's the common word that comes to mind with Nick Stream, right? Right? We have our localizer. In fact, we've hooked up with the localizer and will now be landing shortly, y'all. Thank you. Make sure flight attendants get the cabin prepared for a landing. Make sure you put your food trays in its upward position, laptops and everything in airplane mode, and put it away for landing. Thank you, y'all. Autopilot off, throttle off, landing gears down. All right, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, we've landed in Seattle, Washington International Airport. The local time is 7:05 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you talk to our lovely flight attendants who will help you with any connecting flights. And make sure that once you, hey, sit down. Everybody's getting up before we even stopped. What's up with that? There's like no decency anymore. People aren't decent anymore. You wait till the plane stops and then you start getting up. You start messing around. Okay, sorry. Let me calm down. Make sure that when you take out the contents of your overhead compartments that you check before you do so, as the contents of said compartments may have shifted during our journey here. And like always, you have many options to fly, but we appreciate your continued patronage here on Anchorbaby Airlines. Thank you.
But now I realize that sometime soon this moment will be just another warm summer breeze that passes by.
What the? Ghost plane? Ladies and gentlemen, that was an amazing flight. Thank you again. What can I say, y'all? That's the show. Make sure you tune in Sunday, rebuildingtheman.com/church for Sunday. You don't want to miss it. We always have a good time on Sundays. I'll be back Monday for more American Anchorbaby at 12 o'clock. And of course, the Bond Network continues to grow. We got big things coming, y'all. Hope you enjoyed today's show and today's flight. Follow, subscribe, drop a comment, do the engagement, do all the things, y'all. I'll see you guys on Monday, Sunday as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, y'all. Take care. See y'all.
Lately, I've been thinking back to the old days. Summer passed us without a care in the world, and each day felt like a lifetime. Sometimes in life,